Right, so we've got the Range Rover L405 out of hibernation. We might use it, right? But we've got a problem. I don't recall this being up when I put it away, but if I put it on full log and drive... Right, so it sounded like it was coming from the front, from inside the car, but outside the car, Alicia thinks it's coming from the back driver's side. So let's go up to our friendly MOT station, put it up on the ramps. He thinks it might be the bottom arms, but let's go and have a look. Right, we're on the ramps, we've got it. Now look. This bottom arm here, I can move it quite a lot there. But if you look in the rubbery bit there, right, do your magic, Cobby. Go the other way. Do the other side, Cobby. Alright, and you can see it open right up in there. The rubber's perished. So what we've got to do, we've got to take a bolt out here, and we're going to see if we can get poly bushes for these. We've got to take that out there, and then there's a... On this end, there's a ball joint that comes down here. So we'll have to take the wheels off and we'll do them both. Right, I've got one off one side. So this is the arm. This is what it looks like. So you've got this ball joint. Hold it steady. Let's see how that. There's nice and tight. There's no sign of that rubber split. So we're just waiting for the delivery to come. But basically you've got three options. You can replace the whole arm, which comes pre-assembled like this. You've got the ball joint, the arm, and you've got this rubber bush, which is where we've got some play and stuff going on. You can insert the rubber, but you'll have to work out how to get that on. And then you could either put a new bush back in, which is relatively cheap, but a lot of work, or you could poly bush it, which means if you ever need to service it again, it'll be dead easy. So we'll have a look at all these options, but first we've got to get it off. So basically we've got to undo one nut and one bolt. What could be easier? I've just done it and it took me 20 minutes, and I've got quite a clever way of doing it. I didn't even need to use a ball joint puller. So we are going to get the other side of the car jacked up. We'll get the wheel off, get it on axle stands, and then Alicia's going to show you how to do it. You're going to need a 36mm 12-sided socket, because this nut, it's got like a spinny washer integrated into it. It's quite nice. That nut I've coloured orange lives underneath here. Alicia hasn't seen this yet. Okay. And luckily for this arm, it points towards you slightly, so you can get a nice 36mm 12-sided socket on that. And we're going to have a go with the impact. Bob, 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 bob. So here we go. We got the 36. We got the impact driver on it. Give it a go, Alicia. Alright, make sure you're on there nice and square. Feel where it's square. Alright, go on then. Right, watch for that little thing turning. And what you see, the little, pick a mark on it and look for it turning. And keep going until it does. That's it. Right. Now go a bit more. I want it parallel with the end of the thread. So just a fraction more. Right, have a look. Yeah. Oh, we can wind in. Right. And then what we're going to do... Right, let's get it parallel. Right, that's with the end of the thread, look. So it's got plenty of room there. We're going to jack on this bottom arm. Now, jacking on bottom arms isn't good, but if you're going to replace the arm, it's fine. Because what we're going to do is we're going to put the force. Otherwise, you've got to get a splitter in here. And I did it on the other side, and it went quite easily. So get the jack under here, Alicia. And let's see if we can't just put the weight of the car on it. And obviously by leaving that nut on there, it's not going to fly up anywhere. It's just going to go... Ba-doop. Alright, get the jack in position. We're under it now, so jack listen, and you'll start the whole car. And we're listening for a crack. Alright. Okay, get the... Alright, it's just compressing the suspension now. Right. Now let me try and give it a shock. So let's leave it there. So we've got a lot of weight on it now. And let's try and give it a smack on this casing, just to see if we can't shock it a bit. Right, here goes. Let's give it a bit of a... Alright, let's have another jack it up some more, Alicia. Because it's starting to lift the car now. Right, now, yeah, okay, leave it there. Alright, let's have another bash. Let's try a general bash in this bottom, even though it's not next to it. It might... Nope. Right, that's not going. We're going to go the ball joint splitter. So we've still got the weight, some weight on this arm. And the trouble with this ball joint splitter is it's going to wreck that boot. which is fine because we're going to replace the arms. But let's see if we can get the ball joint splitter in there. I'm going to try heating the bolt. Now, that's going to make the bolt expand, which isn't going to be any good. But maybe when it contracts again later, it may. Let's see what happens. So we've got it still jacked up. The weight is on it. That is getting hot somewhere. That's going red hot, look. And maybe if that cools down now, maybe that will give it enough thermal shock. So I can get that back on there. Maybe if that cools down, just the thermal expansion and contraction will do something. Right, as you can see, we were having problems. We tried to heat everything on that bottom arm. So it said use a special tool. Now, I'm not a big fan of special tools, but I looked on the internet and these are only 30 quid. And all of a sudden, I thought £30 is not too bad. So let's have a look at this tool. What have we got? We've got like a spring-loaded bit. This, obviously, we're going to spin down onto there. And as we do that, it's going to push, I'm guessing, this up. Now, this is a bit weird because it's round. I can't get a grip on this. But we can turn that bit. So, I'm not quite sure. Can we spin that in? Blimey, everything moves on it, does it? Yeah, that's... So we can compress that, we can shoot that out, and we can get that out. So I guess we want that in the middle of there. So let's have a look underneath the car. At least here will film. And see if we can get this in under here. Actually, let's get some spanners first. Right, your first thing you need to take off, Torx T30, is this little guard. We perhaps should have had that off before. It's only 2 bolts and they come out fairly easily. I think this is a mud scraper to scrape the mud to stop it getting in your brakes. Let me know if it has any other tricky purpose. So there's the 2 little bolts for that. They're both the same, aren't they? Put those handily away. Right, we've got the nut off, obviously. Right, so let's have a go using the proper tool for the job. Right, so that is in. I'm going to... Right, and then I screw that down. So it's pressing on. It's almost like it's not quite right. It's getting, isn't it? Right, the trouble is, so where are the bits on it I've got to tighten? Here, I should get access to that. Right, I'm going to tighten this bottom one up first. That's 17mm. Let's tighten this up and see what happens. Right, so let's have a... Actually, what am I trying to do? Yeah, so I'm trying to push this bottom bolt out. Yeah, so if I just tighten everything, if I do that, it should push. Right, let's get a bit more on that, as tight as I can go. Okay. Right, and then I've got a bigger... Can I get on this one? Let's check I'm going the right way. Get the 24mm on here. Right, I should really get up here now. Right now, could we do what we did before and jack the car up as well? So if I've got that tension on it. If I put the jack under here as well, that's putting some extra weight on it. Let me try that. Right. So I've got the jack under it as well. So let me see if I can't get the spanner in out. Right. How much force is this going to need to go? Do you reckon they've given you that so you can put so you can hit it? Do you reckon they've given you that round end so you can give it a smack? That's got some force on it now. So yeah, I wonder if they've given you this round end. Did you see this here, Alicia?
Yeah.
So do you reckon they're giving you that so that you can give it a bit of a shock? What, bigger hammer? Okay. Right, we've just jacked it up some more. It's nearly got the weight. Is it nearly off that axle stand? It can't be far off that axle stand. Right, let's have another hammer. Yay! Did it go? Woo! Give me 5. It went. Right, let's get that arm changed. Right, so when you've got your arms off, and clearly some come off easier than others, you can get your new arm. Now, getting a new arm is the easiest way. Now, if you've had to use a ball joint splitter, this will be perished. And this joint, I guess, could be worn, although it feels pretty good on ours. So that is the replacement. He's all there. He's all correct. He's got, now, if you've got the means to a press, you could just buy this bearing. Let's do these part numbers quickly, Alicia. So there's the part number L4948059, and that is the right hand. The left hand ends in 60. Right? Or you could buy just the bush, and that is the part number for the bush there. Or you could buy part number for these that is the poly bush part. So these double bagged, right? Looks like it. Let's have a look at these. But these you get a kit of 4, remember. So this must be, oh no, 2. Gosh, they're good, aren't they? So they must go either side of those to form a bearing the same thickness as that, I'm guessing. There you go, yeah. So you've got the poly bush option. Now the advantage of the poly bush is if they ever wear again, they'll be easy to replace, because they'll just knock out. Why all manufacturers don't make them with these, I don't know. So we've got to decide. For now, I think to get the car on the road, we'll do this. But maybe we could use the old arm to experiment with, and we'll do another video on that, and work out how we could get that out, how much force it takes. We may have to cut around the rubber, and then cut through this outer ring from the inside, and then maybe it'll collapse enough. But that sounds like a bit of a challenge. So let's get this one on for now. Let's have a go at getting this on. So let me put that track, that hub end in first. Oh, I think he's nearly in. He's close on that gate. He's coming. Okay. There he is. He's through. Actually, where's that nut, Alicia? I can spin that nut on him quickly. Right, you can see he's poked through there. So if I can just get that on there just to keep him still for a minute. He's not quite sat in his taper yet. There you go, he's on. Right, and then I've got to get this one up in here. Let's have a look if that one will... There you go. And then get that lined up. Not better off from the top now, Alicia. Right, and then this bolt went in from this side. There you go. He's straight in. Now, right, let me get up so I can talk to you guys. Right, now there was a guy that did this on YouTube, and he made a big deal about measuring from here to here at 19 inches and setting it all up. But to me, that makes no sense. I'm not disrespecting him. But this, when it's tight, should be to rotate about that bolt. So tightening it up wherever doesn't matter, because the whole point is the arms are going to rotate. I don't think that's a thing. Let me know. Is that a waste of time, or is that a good thing? I don't see the point of it, because everything's going to rotate. And even so, if you were that fast, put it all back together, put it down on the ground, and just tighten the bolts up, the final nick when you're there. Right, let's get that bolt tightened up, Alicia. Right, let's see if I can just gently... Right, is that home? Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right, get that nut. Now, the nut has got this funny cage on. So I'm only doing this on my back, so Alicia can film better. Right, so can we spin that on there? Or not? Right, yeah, I can. See, that bolt spins freely. Which means this must be able to rotate freely. Right, I'll get this tightened up. Right. Okay, that's that one tight. And let's just tighten that nut under there. Right, about 36 now. Just got to check it's not spinning. I think that's pulling it. There you go. Right, and that is basically those. Now, obviously, I'd recommend doing them in pairs. And the other thing is that's only your front control arm. There is another one here, but I don't think this one has got the play in it. This one's got a much bigger bush at the front, and I think it's much more susceptible to wear. So we'll get the second one fitted, and then we'll go out for a test drive and see what it's like.